Hello YouTube and welcome back. It's me, Fruit Guru. I hope you're all taking care of yourselves. I hope your grind's going well in Ragnarok Labyrinth, and I hope you're still enjoying the game as much as I am. I have to say, despite my initial first impressions video, I am hook, line and sinkered into this. I absolutely love it. I'm tied to a good community where there's people I can chat to about it now, and we're all having a really good time. And that's the main thing, right? So anyway, today I want to talk about the premium currency, the Nyan here. And basically, I play a lot of gacha games, and each and every gacha game that I play always has purchase traps for the premium currency, and this game is no exception. In fact, I would go as far to say that this game is especially slippery when it's trying to bait you out of your hard-earned yans. And I'm going to talk about this now. So, as a new player, you are going to be presented with so many options of stuff to spend on. And some of it's going to seem really, really tempting, especially when you're struggling to get those gear equips, those card equips. You're going to really kind of be like praying to get that lucky drop. And let me tell you from my experience, it's not worth, because the drop rates in this game from boxes and whatnot are so pathetically low that more often than not you're just going to waste your currency. So I'll go straight away into the shop here, and you'll see probably one of the things a lot of newer players, when they have a few Nyan saved up, are going to be tempted to get are top card box. Oh, 10% sale, wonderful, what can I get? 3 to 5 star card. Maybe I'll get the 5-star card that I so desperately need to enable my build. You won't, right? The game doesn't include the drop rates for everything, and you can see here, I mean, all the cards. So say I want the Ifrit card, less than a 0.9% chance to get this, less than a 0.9% chance actually to get a 5-star card, and then I need to hope that it lands on the one I want. So it's just so not worth it, and pretty much everything in this shop I can say the same for. The gear, even these dispatch and PvP companions, these are so important to the success of your account, but you're going to be getting guaranteed 3-star companions from the jewel passes that I spoke about in my previous video. And yeah, I mean, these aren't even guaranteed to be 3-star. They are 1 to 3-star, and you can see here as you go down, the 3-star rates are absolutely abysmal. So this is just a complete waste of money. I wouldn't bother with this at all. And the same goes for all the jewelry boxes, the material boxes, the costume boxes even. I mean, it's nice to look good, but if you're serious about kind of progressing your account and you don't have like infinite amount of Nyan, this is just not a priority. it's a want to have, but it is by no means a need to have. So with that said and done, what do you actually spend your currency on? Well, to start with, I think, and this is just my personal opinion, obviously everyone's account is different, but I'm going to tell you why I think these are the best choices. In the dungeon tab, you're going to notice there's 2 things here, the Central Laboratory and Airship Assault. And I'm going to talk about the Central Laboratory first, because this is basically important to everybody's account, regardless of what you've rolled. And the Central Laboratory basically allows you to get these little chips to level up your share device. And when you start playing, you're going to have loads of these thrown at you, and it's going to be an easy dream to level this up. But let me tell you, when you get to the point I'm at, around job level 76 on this character, this starts slowing down, for real. And the big problem is, when you're lower levels, you can kind of just take anyone and everything into your party and they'll be beneficial. But at the point I'm at now, that's not the case. If I auto-equip these here, have a look at what I get. So basically, I'm looking for people that are at least job level 60. Really, from where I'm at now, if I'm wanting to push as boxes and the harder labyrinths, I need them closer to my level. And I don't know if we can click this. This guy's set to private. The problem is, the BP, most of these people have either Zenny farming stuff on, or they just don't have anything equipped at all, not even a weapon, so they don't do any damage, and they are basically dead weight to you, and you're carrying them, getting them items, and they're not helping you. And it's just, and like, you know, again, you're gonna have loads of these charge materials when you start, but that's not going to be the case forever. You're going to run out of these, and I've been told like these are so important for later on in the game that you shouldn't even really be using these early. You should actually be hoarding these as much as you can. And that's a mistake I've made, so hopefully that's a mistake that you guys are not going to make now that you know it. I learned it a little bit late, but sure, it's fine. This stuff happens. So basically, yeah, you want to be able to get your max BP in power, as close to kind of 40k to start with, because that's when you're going to start getting matched with people who actually can have an impact on your party without having to manually fish through them, because let me tell you, it's a whole job in itself just trying to actually find people right now that are suited to the content I'm trying to do. So that's why I'm really trying to rush this up. And one of the best ways you can do this is, of course, through the labyrinth. Or sorry, not the labyrinth, making mistakes because I'm clicking, but through the central laboratory dungeon here. And you're going to see I've done this once today already. I've got 0 out of 1 tries. Now, I didn't realise straight away, and other people I was speaking to didn't realise either. You can actually click on this again, and you can refresh this up to 3 times a day for Nyan. The first retry is 50, then the second is 100, and then it goes up to 150. Now, I think a lot of the kind of light spenders, free-to-players that I've spoken to will almost always reset this at least once. And I think this is really important, especially when you're starting out, because it's going to give you that extra bang to get that shared device up. It's going to be a real bottleneck for your progression when you can't bring decent people into your party to get you past the things you're stuck on. And I'm actually in that situation right now in the dungeon. So this is my main priority, and I'm actually doing this a couple of extra times a day. It's not the best use of resources. I just feel like that's what I really want to do. But doing this at least once extra a day, absolutely worth it. It's only 50 Nyan. You're going to get over 100 Nyan a day for free through your dailies and your spinning wheels. You can't really go wrong with this. It's a guaranteed progression mechanic on your account. There's no dice rolling. It's just good all around. So I highly recommend this. In the same vein, I'm also going to talk about the Airship Assault. Now this one, depending on your build and what you actually need, may not be as important to you. But for example, my clown needs 3 pieces of the Fell Rock gear, and this is the gear that's associated with the Airship Assault. So again, I haven't run this yet today. I'm going to do it after this, but again, I'm going to reset this at least once, and I might even consider some days, if I'm feeling generous, resetting this twice, just to get those extra boxes. Hope I get that piece of craftable gear to build into my endgame gear. And this again, take a look at your build. Do you need a couple pieces of Fell Rock gear? If so, again, I think re-rolling this for once a day is pretty good. It's not as guaranteed in that you're still kind of hoping for RNG, but you know, if you do this over the space of a month, suddenly you have got 2 months worth of progression, as opposed to someone who doesn't in this specific mechanic. So you could get lucky, you could get unlucky, but it's something you're working towards. And at the very least, you're getting these airship parts. And if nothing else, maybe when you get enough of these to actually craft the stuff you need, you can start turning these into boxes if you need to, if you can spare them. And I think that's worth it. So with that said then, they're the 2 major ones that I'd recommend out of this. You can of course do it with the Zenny Dungeon and Experience Dungeon. I don't recommend this. This is all stuff you can farm. It's not as mission critical. So yeah, for now, more in line for a new player. Maybe when you get up to the end game Zenny Dungeon, maybe it's like super good and worth doing. But for now, in my experience, not worth it all. The next thing I'm going to talk about is the General Shop. Or the Secret Shop actually. We've already covered the General Shop. So, in the Secret Shop here, you're going to see a lot of stuff every now and again that you're going to really want to buy. Now, I'm having a look through this now, and is there anything that I really want? No, there is not. But there's kind of a little bit of a trap here, and that's with the cards. So, for example, I need a lot of Masterling cards in my build, and these are 3-star cards, and these are quite commonly featured in the shop. And it's really tempting for me to buy these, and I'll put my hand up. I have actually bought a couple of these. But is it the best use of your resources? I'm leaning on the side of no, because again, these are things that you can actually farm from your Labyrinth dailies. These are things that you can actually craft. I did mention it in another video. But if we go into the box craft here, we don't even have to do the top tier card box. If we're looking for 3 stars, we can do these low card boxes 1 to 3, and we can chance getting the cards we want out of that. It is farmable. And it's a lot more farmable than your Nyan. So maybe if there's something in there that's absolutely build enabling for whatever reason that you really need, or it's going to really like push you up that step, maybe you can be a little bit frivolous then. But all in all, I don't really recommend it too much. I'd be very careful. I think very long term. Is this going to be just a short-term benefit, or is this going to be something that I regret in a week or two? Obviously, if you're a spender, it's not as important. You can just buy them as you see. But yeah, I'd be cautious. Then in the same vein, what you're really looking for in this shop, and this is kind of your like T1 prize almost, is the Fragment of Valkyrie. Now, as you can see, I haven't been lucky enough to get this here. I hope it's not low down. No, I thought that was it for a second and I was about to cry. But basically, what you're going to be looking for are these things here. Where is it? Here we go. So the Fragment of Valkyrie, and this is basically used for crafting purposes, but it's also used for transcending your character, basically rebirthing them. You would have experienced this back in Culvert when you started. You get the free one, you get the 50 extra stat points, and then you get them obviously depending on your level later on in the game. But there's actually a quest that's going to come up where you're going to have to use one of these, and if you're not prepared, it's going to be a little bit nasty. So yeah, you buy these as soon as you see them, no questions asked. I would never advise somebody to spend to buy an item, but if you ever were going to, this would probably be one of the things to consider doing it for. If not, if you're a bit short, like check all your dailies, spin on your wheels, basically try to get that Nyan to get her to buy this. You will thank yourself for it down the line. You need these, okay? So yeah, that's basically the special shop. And the final thing I'm going to talk about is, this was actually a recommendation from Pearson on the Milk Discord server, who's actually been really helpful to me in general and other people. And this is the gacha coins. So if we take a look, right now we have this robot gacha, and this isn't really worth spending coins on at all. But what Pearson suggested to me was that if you go into the daily shop, you can buy a set of 3 gacha coins for 300, and he says one thing that he would consider would be to get a full set of gacha coins at some point and just sit on them. You don't have to spend them. Don't let them burn a hole in your pocket. He says, like, right now, as I'm telling you, the gacha is pretty crap with just the pets, but down the line in the SEA version, this one could hand out 4 or 5 star companions. That is so good, especially if you're like not a spender. You're not going to have a huge amount of opportunities to get these, so you know, saving up, maybe buying these a little bit over time as you can. Have the 20. You want 24 because that's to guarantee the middle prize, so the nice prize, and that is absolutely worth it. And God knows what else will happen, but this is, again, it's a guaranteed progression advancement on your account. There's no gamble. There is a wait. You're obviously going to have to wait till something comes out that you need, but that's fine. I mean, all these games are slow burners generally. You know, if you're going to play them, you're going to want to play them a while to get the max out of your stuff. So that should come as, this shouldn't be any big shock to anyone playing these kind of games. But yeah, I think that's a really good tip. It's something that I'm actually going to start doing. In fact, look, I'm going to do it right now. Purchase, done, 3 gacha coins towards my thing. I'm going to keep the rest in case something juicy comes up in the shop, like the fragment, and for my resets. But yeah, I think that's really worth it. I think it's a great little tip and something to look out for and just keep track of. Maybe if you have access, you know, to people who play on the SEA versions, ask them what's coming up in the shop. There's no guarantee that it'll be, or the gacha, there's no guarantee that it's going to be the same for us, but it'll probably give you a broad idea of what's coming down the line. So with that said, that's what I recommend spending your nyans on. If you do have any suggestions or something you think I missed, please do let me know. But with that said and done, I'm going to leave you. Happy hunting in your game, and spend wisely and take care of yourselves. Fruit Guru out.